Welcome to Beyond the Broadsheet, a podcast by the Lincoln County News. We are a community newspaper based in Midcoast, Maine, and we provide the most comprehensive, in-depth coverage available anywhere of the 18 towns and one plantation that make up Lincoln County. My name is Christina Wallace, and I'm a reporter here at Lincoln County News, covering the towns of Bristol, South Bristol, Bremen, and Noblesboro.
My name is Claire Taylor, and I am a reporter here at the Lincoln County News covering the towns of Waldoboro, Jefferson, and Somerville.
It's so exciting. You can actually say your towns.
I know, right? I was very excited.
Yes, she officially has towns, which is great. Last week, I sat down with Christina Belknap, who is the executive director of the Lincoln Theater, to discuss their recent renovations. In our second segment this week, podcast producer Lucas McNelly and sports reporter Mic LeBel will give a fall sports wrap-up. But first, here are some of the top stories from the Thursday, November 13 edition of the Lincoln County News.
The Lincoln Academy piloted a capstone class. Lincoln Academy seniors presented their capstone projects on Monday, November 10th, marking the culmination of 2 trimesters of planning, research, and outreach. This year was the first iteration of the capstone course for both students and faculty before it is incorporated into next year's graduation requirements. 30 students presented their projects to classmates and community members on presentation day. The presenters showcased work on everything from sustainably sourced chicken feed to a documentary film capturing the class of 2026's senior year. Director of Library Services Laura Phelps and Director of Learning Initiatives Maya Crosby led the LEAP Senior Capstone's development. Through the 2 semesters of work, students are meant to learn, explore, apply, and present, hence the capstone's acronym LEAP. Head of school Jeff Burrows said that by participating in the course during senior year, students will be able to apply the content they've learned throughout high school in new ways.
That sounds like a really exciting opportunity for the students.
No kidding.
The Damerscott Planning Board approved the Central Lincoln County YMCA's plans for expanded daycare services at their Monday, October 10th meeting. Under the approved plans, the Central Lincoln County YMCA will build yurt classrooms and a playground at its 525 Main Street location. CLC YMCA CEO Casey Clark Kelly said the existing child care center at 8 Sand Hill Drive in Noblesboro, quote, is not sustainable for growth during the organization's annual meeting in May. Jan Weigman of engineering firm Waite Pierce and Tora Glendening of 44 North Architects presented the plans for the new child care development named Discovery Village with CLC YMCA Director of Operations Sally Farrell. The village will house 4 yurts serving as classrooms and 1 yurt as an administrative office, according to the submitted application. The development will also include a new playground and other improvements to utility connections and stormwater management system.
A new family-owned cafe and gallery opened up in Dresden, offering fresh tastes and a welcoming atmosphere. The family behind the newly opened Dresden Coffee Shop and Gallery at 769 Gardner Road hope to offer a welcoming place for people to enjoy healthy, organic, and locally sourced coffee and food. The new business is owned and operated by Barbara and Cass Bach and their son, Conrad Bach. The family moved from Poland to the United States 22 years ago and resided in Pennsylvania before their move to Dresden. They bought the property in Dresden nearly a decade ago after visiting the area on vacation and, quote, falling in love with Maine. The Bachs gradually developed the land, officially moving to Dresden in April and opening the shop on October 10th. Barbara Bach makes the shop's pastries, cookies, and traditional Polish dishes fresh each day in-house. The cafe offers gluten-free and vegan options sourced from Three Folds Bakery in Otisfield as well. The business also includes a gallery housing some of Barbara's art available for sale. Barbara said she hopes the gallery can also be a space to spotlight young artists who may not yet have connections in the art world. The Bach family repeatedly thanks the Dresden community and all those who made opening the cafe possible, calling it a dream come true.
That's such a sweet story.
It was lovely.
I'm definitely have to gonna go check them out.
Oh, you
sounds
should.
Incredible.
It was, oh my goodness, it was so tasty.
In news out of Bristol and South Bristol, Members of the South Bristol and Bristol school committees unanimously voted to withdraw from AOS 93 to form a two-town education service center and approve an interlocal agreement at their meetings on Tuesday, November 4th and Thursday, November 6th, respectively. As of July 1st, 2026, the Bristol and South Bristol... As of July 1st, 2026, South Bristol and Bristol will leave AOS 93 and become Johns Bay Coastal Alliance. The reorganization effort with AOS 93 began in January of 2023. The then 7-member town of the district, Jefferson, Nobleboro, Bristol, South Bristol, Damariscotta, Bremen, and Newcastle, began exploring different structure options that would reduce inefficiencies and inconsistencies across the district. According to the approved application, Johns Bay Coastal Alliance will be governed by a board of directors composed of the 5 school committee members from both towns, as well as an executive director and superintendent/curriculum coordinator. A finance clerk, administrative assistant, and special education director will also be hired to the Education Service Center. Through the Education Service Center, Bristol and South Bristol will share services such as superintendent services, curriculum coordination, financial and business administration, special education administration, and transportation administration. According to Bristol School Committee Chair Darren Carlucci, the restructuring committee, which consists of school employees, committee members, and community members from Bristol and South Bristol, will now dissolve. All members of the Bristol and South Bristol school committees will make up an Education Service Center committee, which will be responsible for hiring for the positions being created with the formation of Johns Bay Coastal Alliance. The first meeting of the Education Service Center is yet to be determined. However, AOS 93 Director of Finance and Operations Peter Nielsen said the meeting would happen, quote, ideally before Thanksgiving. So this is definitely a long time in the making for them, but they are officially an Education Service Center.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big happenings.
Big happenings, absolutely.
In other big happenings, Dresden held their inaugural Veterans Appreciation Ceremony on Saturday, November 8th. Community members gathered in the Dresden Fire Station for the town's first Veteran Appreciation Ceremony, marking the day with speeches, songs, and video interviews with service members. Ryan Cody, who served as guest speaker for the event, emphasized the sacrifice, of both those who serve and their families, as well as the town's rich military history. The event also featured a slideshow with photos of many of the town's generations of service members and a series of veteran interviews, which will be posted to the Town of Dresden website for community members to view. The event was organized by the Dresden Veterans Memorial Committee. The committee initially formed in the fall of 2024 with the goal of developing a memorial to permanently honor the veterans of Dresden. The committee is still fundraising for the memorial and is seeking corporate donors. They are hoping that next year the event will be held in front of the completed memorial.
That's very exciting. Have their own Veterans Memorial.
It was. It's really cool to see the ways that the community has pulled together there.
Absolutely. Chris and Paula Roberts reflect on years of commitment and community. For 150 years, the Lincoln County News and its pages have witnessed countless celebrations, milestones, and challenges. For the decades they have been involved and the thousands of editions they've helped produce, Paula and Chris Roberts can't help but feel grateful for their community. Chris Roberts said the pair has, quote, enjoyed doing the work that needs to be done to keep it going. This week marks the start of the 150th year since the first issue of the Village Herald, one of the Lincoln County News' predecessors, which made it to the newsstands on November 5th, 1876. The first edition of the Lincoln County News came out on February 13th, 1919, but the Erskine-Roberts family wouldn't have their names attached to the paper until Samuel Erskine published his first edition on December 9th of 1920. As the fourth generation born into the family business, Chris Roberts began life with ink in his veins. He said he remembers helping his father at the publishing company as early as 6th grade. When they first started dating in high school, Paula Roberts said she quickly got acquainted with the family business. She took on a number of jobs at the paper before becoming a part-time sports reporter in the 1980s and going full-time in 1991. Throughout both of their tenures, Chris Roberts said the couple has learned that, quote, doing a family business is a way of life. As one of the few newspapers in Maine that remains fully family-oriented, Chris Roberts said it's been an honor to see a fifth generation take the helm and to remain an integral part of the county. Both Chris and Paula Roberts stressed the importance of the community's role in the paper. Chris Roberts said, it takes a community to have a newspaper and a newspaper to have a community. So what a great way to celebrate LCN's 150th year.
No, wild.
I know. That's a long time.
Our character of the county this week is Reverend Nancy Duncan. 20 years after she first ascended to the pulpit of Broad Bay Congregational Church in Waldoboro, the Reverend Nancy Duncan said that a part of her still marvels that people turn out to hear her sermons. She said her weekly themes tend to be love, justice, and mercy, rooted in day-to-day stuff, and said that she was, quote, amazed that people who have been here the whole time that I have are still interested in my sermons because you sort of have heard it before. As a Massachusetts native, Duncan had been living in Maine for almost 20 years before finding the Waldoboro Church. With her husband, Larry, she moved to Rockland from the Boston area in 1985. She was familiar with Maine because her parents owned a summer home in Southport, the home where Duncan and her husband live today. She grew up in the Boston suburb of Milton and attended the prestigious Milton Academy, where her father worked as a math teacher. To learn more about Reverend Nancy Duncan and her journey to the pulpit, pick up a copy of the paper or visit lcnme.com.
And now we are going to hand it over to Lucas McNelly and Mic LeBel for our fall sports wrap-up.
Okay, we're here. Lucas McNelly here from MaineBasketballRankings.com with Mic LeBel, the sports reporter for the Lincoln County News. Mick, how are you doing?
Doing great.
So we're here to wrap up fall sports, which I think it's fair to say did not go as well as spring sports.
That's
for
true.
the local teams.
Yes, indeed.
We didn't get a gold ball out of this one.
No gold balls. No deep playoff run.
Not even a deep playoff run, unless we want to adopt Morse, because they're like a little bit over the
close
border.
Neighbors.
They're neighbors. They're what kind are they in? County are they in?
I think that's Saginaw.
Is it Saginaw? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So close.
I mean,
but
we share a jail with that county, so why not a football team?
your longest yard remake is coming along nicely.
Right?
I can see.
Perfect.
I mean, the Lincoln students do VOTEC there.
Yes.
So we could claim Morse a little bit, even though I don't.
Let's cheer for
Does
him.
anyone co-op with Morse from Lincoln County for football?
Actually, Wiscasset does for cheerleading.
But not for football.
No.
Are we sure?
I think, you know what's
I'll look.
weird is Booth Bay co-ops with them for boys lacrosse.
Okay. So
Although I think there was only one player, so it's not like a thing, but still.
Okay.
There is a relationship.
So Morse is in the regional final in football, 8-man football, which is there as the 6th seed. So that they're playing tonight. So by the time you listen to this will be all dated and you'll know whether or not they won or lost. But that is the only team that we can claim even a little bit that is left standing or made it to the gold ball game.
Yeah, it's actually been a quiet couple of weeks.
For you, you got nothing to do. I got lots to do.
A lot of folks dropped out early.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on that.
All right, where do you want to start with soccer or football or what?
I wrote things down, my notes in order. I had field hockey first.
Let's do field hockey,
which was one of the bright spots this year.
Okay. I saw Lindsay was coach of the year.
Yeah, so we can start there. Lincoln Academy didn't make the playoffs, but they were competitive. They won 3 games, so they were 3-11, which is actually better than in recent years. And what I thought was most notable is just how close a lot of their games were. They lost 5 of those by 2 goals or less. Mm-hmm. So they were in most of the games. They definitely have more skill, and they played well. You know, considering that's a tough division. I mean, it's Class B South.
I would have been used to going to their games when my stepdaughter Lucy was the goalie. I would see the scores come in and go, oh, that's pretty good. That doesn't sound like whoever took over for Lucy had to face 18 shots on goal in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, they probably have that down to like 10 now. But,
well, that's good.
But it is a significant improvement.
It's like what they say with podcasting. You get a little bit better, just 1% better each time, and that's how you improve. And so sometimes you take the shots allowed from 18 to 10. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and they definitely graduate some players this year. Bailey Brewer and Lexi Houghton and Frances McGonigal-Dow, but they'll be, most of the team will be back, so I think they'll be good next year. Maybe, hopefully, make a playoff game.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it's been, but I know it's been a very long time.
Well, Paula Roberts, who of course works here and has been here forever, used to be the coach, and she told me this story that one year, this is back when the heel points were not online and nothing was on because there was no internet. And it was you'd get in the paper and you'd see it like every 3 weeks in the paper. They went something like 11-2-1. And she had to, because of the quirks of the heel point, she had to call the team and tell them that they didn't make the playoffs.
Crazy.
Which is an insane story.
That is.
It's my new favorite heel point story.
You'd think you'd get in with that record, but it must have had a soft schedule. Very soft.
An incredibly soft schedule.
Yes.
But I think it's been a testament to how well they've built that program that Lindsay was named Coach of the Year.
Yeah. That
you don't usually get that for missing the playoffs.
Yeah. And like I said, they were competitive. I went to a bunch of games and found it just more enjoyable, when it's close, a couple goals here or there instead of like 8 or 10. Mm-hmm. That's not fun for anybody. So, yeah, I think they were pretty happy with their season, and a couple games could have gone their way, and they might have snuck into the playoffs. So next year we shall see.
Yeah. Okay.
Having said that about Lincoln Academy, Booth Bay field hockey was one of my big surprises this year. I think I had them making the playoffs and doing well, but not as well as it actually turned out. They were 11-1-2.
Wow. But they made the playoffs.
Yeah. The first big accomplishment was they were the number 1 seed in Class C.
Wow.
And as such, they got to play in the Mountain Valley Conference championship game against Lisbon, which I went to. It was in Winthrop, as it turns out, and they lost in double overtime.
Ooh.
But it was a great game.
Now that's not
they lost 2-1. They were winning.
People know that's not a countable game, but you do you can hang a banner for that.
Correct.
So it doesn't actually impact your overall season. It's just you can hang a banner for it.
Yeah, and it puts them up in the top teams in Class C. Lisbon's really good. They had beaten or tied Lisbon earlier in the season, in the regular season. So it was an epic battle. Booth Bay was up 1-0 and couldn't quite hold on. So, but after that, they won their quarterfinal against Trape 2-0, and then in the semifinals, Class C South, they lost to Winthrop, who's won the last 3.
They're like a powerhouse in that region.
Class C.
Yeah.
So they had beaten Winthrop earlier in the season, in the regular season. Yeah, which was one of their many accomplishments of the year. But as number 4 seed, Winthrop was a little too much, and they beat them 1-0. And that was the end.
That's a situation where you're the 1 seed and you're like, really? Really? We get Winthrop in the 4? Come on.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair. Spruce Mountain was really good too, and I think Spruce beat Winthrop to move on.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
But I have to admit, I didn't follow
the Phoenix
after Booth Bay was out.
I mean, I'm going to guess that Spruce Mountain field hockey team has at least some of the basketball players, and some of the basketball players are probably on the soccer team, and there's a lot of athletes on that basketball team.
Yeah, I do know that Booth Bay played them in the regular season. I'm not sure how that turned out.
Okay.
But Booth Bay has a couple of really good sophomore twin sisters, Mariah and Zuri Smith. They're fun to watch. One's really good on defense and getting the ball up the field, and the other one's really good on offense. So it's a good sister combo there. And Tatum French had a really good year. She's a senior basketball player.
Hashtag basketball player.
Again, a midfielder, really tough player. So kudos to her for a really good season. And they're well coached. They'll be really competitive again next year. They do lose Tatum French, but and a couple other seniors, but most of the team is back. So they've made field hockey fun for me.
Hey, there you go.
Actually, it was a new sport, and now that I've covered it for a few years, I definitely learned the rules a little better, which are slightly complicated, but
it's always fun at a field hockey game trying to see people figure out the rules.
Yeah, so I'm starting to figure that out and definitely enjoying it more. So congratulations to Booth Bay. It was actually their second most wins in their 50-year history. So it was a breakthrough season.
So speaking of things that are fun, volleyball.
Oh yeah.
Are we out of we got all the field hockey, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
good. That's it. We just have those two teams.
See that transition? That was the
wonderful.
Segue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So volleyball. I went to a couple volleyball games because my niece Brooke is on the team. Shout out Brooke. And volleyball's really fun.
Yes, it is.
Really fun to watch. Yep. Even my kid, who doesn't pay attention to basketball games or football games or anything, got really into it because he realized about halfway through the game that it was just picky uppy or keepy uppy with a balloon, but at a higher level. It's the same idea. You got to keep the balloon from hitting the ground because the ground is lava. Maybe I'm not 100% sure on how these games work.
Yeah,
but
I remember games like that.
You got to keep the balloon off the ground, and that's essentially volleyball.
And both of our local teams did a good job of keeping that balloon up in the air. Mm-hmm. Madomic Valley was 8-6. They were the number 6 seed. They lost to Ellsworth 3-2 in an exciting,
controversial
playoff match. Yeah, that went in the fifth and final set. There were some questionable calls.
I heard from multiple people about the questionable calls because everyone knows I love to point out questionable calls.
Oh, definitely.
Did you go to the game?
I did not. That one was in Ellsworth. Or no, that's right. I think
it was in Ellsworth.
Was at that.
Okay.
Covered it. Or so, no, was that in
as I heard it, and we won't discuss whether or not the calls were correct or not, but the calls in question were two situations where Madomic had game point or game set match point or whatever the thing is that would have, if they had won that point, they win the game and they advance. And both of those calls went against them. And then they ended up losing in whatever extra time, like overtime of the set is called. You can see we're experts on volleyball.
Well, you got to win by 2.
You got to win by 2, right? So it got into the win by 2. They were I think they were 14-11 on one of them and 14-13 maybe on the other one, something like that.
Yeah, I think they lost 17-15.
17-15, yeah. So if either of them had gone their way, they would have had it, and then they would have played MDI in the next round. I was at the MDI. You were at the MDI game.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have beaten MDI in the regular season.
Yeah,
it's not outlandish. MDI won the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're the state champions. So
it shows how close they were in their first varsity season.
Very, very close. Yeah. Incredibly close for a first season.
Yep. Yeah, they had a great year. They're almost all back. I think there was a couple seniors.
I think there's a couple seniors who are role players off the bench.
Correct. Yeah, so the starting lineup is all returning.
And one of their best players around the net is a freshman.
Yeah.
Simmons, right?
Yeah, Rayanne Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets some pretty good
competitor. Oh yeah.
She gets some good vertical for a freshman.
Slam the ball too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were exciting to watch. A lot of good athletes, a lot of tall players, which I think helps, but also their libero was good.
Mm-hmm. Explain to people what that is.
They are primarily a defensive player. They dig down low, get some of those hard to reach shots on the floor.
They wear a different jersey.
They can swap in and out at Liberty, which I think is why it's Libero.
Oh, okay.
I think is where that comes
very,
from.
Very fancy.
But so there is some strategy as well in how you can sub in and out players that has to do with that position. So she, I believe, was a sophomore. I can't recall exactly, but she is back next year, so that helps. But they had a really, really good season. And I guess I could segue to the next
Let's do it.
piece. So Wiscasset also had their inaugural season, and they went 8-6. Those two teams traded off wins against each other during the regular season, so we already have the makings of a really good rivalry.
Yep.
Very exciting matches. Madomic winning the second one of those, and
the first one was very close too.
Fashion. They kind of ran away eventually with that second match, which was interesting to see. And Wiscasset ended up being the 4 seed, even though they had the same record. They had played a couple tougher teams. And they hosted Wells, but got swept.
I heard that was not close, yeah.
Yeah, I think it appears that Wiscasset kind of tailed off a little bit at the end, including that Madomic match, the rematch that Madomic beat them in. So they apparently struggled a little bit against Wells. And most of their team is also back next year. Graduated a couple, but one of the West sisters. There's four
these
of them.
4 sisters that co-op from Coastal Christian.
Yeah,
right?
So I think the oldest one has now graduated. So
I mean, if you've got 4, one of them's kind of graduated, unless you've got like triplets or something.
Have, a whole team of them. But and coached by Julie Jones. She coaches a main travel team as well. Really experienced coach. So it was kind of interesting. You had kind of the very experienced coach in Julie Jones.
Are you saying?
And then you had your brother.
Are you saying that my brother, Ryan, who has never coached volleyball before in his life prior to this whole project starting, and has maybe never seen a complete volleyball game,
right?
Are you saying that he is the less experienced of these two coaches?
Less experienced, but I didn't say about the performance, because I thought he did a fantastic job, actually, both quickly learning the game and he just has a really good way with the players. And,
he's got lots of coaching experience in basketball.
Oh yeah. So they had a lot of fun, and their styles are so different, the Wiscasset coach and Julie Jones and your brother. So I do know he's sitting down during the match. She's pacing the sideline and barking things out, and he's just kind of waiting for his moment during the breaks to kind of get everyone together and chat. So very different, but similar results, actually, which is, an accolade to your brother Ryan. I thought he did a nice job.
Do you know he was very excited in one game? He caught a rules quirk and challenged it, I think, with the refs, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And he's like, "Ah!" Yeah. He turned to like the crowd. He's like, "Ah, I got it right."
Yeah. So fun to watch. If you've never been to a volleyball match, it's very upbeat. It's very positive.
High energy crowd.
High energy. It's exciting. I think everybody's excited about it, and both at Madomic and Wiscasset. I went to a Wiscasset match. They played at the Wiscasset Community Center, and it's just kind of a small, quirky venue for volleyball, but that place was packed. And they beat Westbrook, I think it was. But it was an exciting match and really good turnout, and everyone was excited for that and played their best. So, I think it's something to watch here in Lincoln County. If you haven't been to a game, you should check it out. After every point, even if your team loses the point, all the players get together and kind of in a circle and high five and hug and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very positive environment for sports.
Yeah, and the crowd's really, really into it. I was surprised by this size of the crowds. And the Madomic Panther is really, really into it in a way that is quite entertaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would highly recommend going to a game next fall.
Yeah. And I did see Madama come up against some really tough opponents. I went up to Gardner. That Gardner team is fantastic. So I got to see kind of like what Madomic and Wiscasset, for that matter, aspires to. Just a really tight, impressive brand of volleyball.
Yeah.
So I think that was eye-opening for Madomic too. I think they were like, "Whoa, this is cool."
Oh, well, this is what we have to get to.
Really hip tunes like before the match, and kind of all kinds of visual effects, and they had their chants and their things that they do after points and stuff. So I think it was valuable for them to see kind of an established program. And I believe Gardner's still in the hunt in Class B.
They're Class C
too? Yeah,
they lost.
C. Okay.
They lost to MDI.
Oh, they did. Okay.
In the state championship game.
Yep. There you go.
I will say that someone who works in this building, who we will not name, said, "Oh, so it's volleyball. So if you got like one girl who can serve overhand, you're going to dominate." I'm like, "Oh no, oh no! Some of these girls would bury you with these spikes.
Yeah,
like I would not get up. It would be like a cartoon where you get hit with the spike and then the gravestone just pops up." You know?
I did see some good spikes. Wiscasset had a good spiker.
Yeah,
Ella Burkhart.
All right.
Very tall. That helps.
That always helps.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say the funniest thing I saw during the season was a shot that went into the basketball hoop and through.
I think I was there for that.
Yeah. A missed hit just went it's played on basically the basketball court modified to a volleyball court. But yeah, ball went way out of bounds. Like, it's not like it's that close even.
Right.
And it went right in.
And everybody celebrated.
Yeah.
Like the crowd, both teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good
we
moment.
did it. We made the trick shot, guys.
I don't know if I'll ever see that again. So
I think that should count.
It was worth bringing that up.
I think you should get 2 points for that.
There was some discussion about that. Didn't happen though.
All right. You want to move to soccer?
Sure.
We'll save football for last.
All right.
All right. So let's do boys soccer.
Boys soccer. Well, I wouldn't say it was a great season for our local teams. They all did make the playoffs.
That's something.
All were eliminated in the first round.
Well, they all, at least, so I'm not as familiar with the Wiscasset and Boothbay, but Lincoln and Madomic both lost quite a lot of talent.
They did, they graduated. And I think, at least in the case of Madomic, they do graduate some more key players this coming season. And of the three, I thought Madomic had the record bears it out. They had the best season. They were 8-5-1, and they were the 6th seed in Class B North.
Respectable in a down year.
Yep. Yeah, they had their moments. They went on a little bit of a win streak there at the end. But in the playoffs, they did play number 3 Caribou, who took them out.
And they had they beat Caribou last year in the tournament, right? Is that who they eliminated? I seem to remember them beating Caribou at Madomic last year.
I saw them lose a really close regional final against John Babs.
I was there for that. Yeah,
boy,
that was
they were close. They were close to going to the gold ball game, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they had Mo and V, who were just
both
a force.
Played college, both played college ball this year too. They got knocked out, but they actually did better than I thought. I think I predicted them maybe a 500 team for this season, and they came out 8-5-1. Pretty good all in all. I think they're very competitive and had a good season. Playoffs, they ran into a tough team, and that was it.
What was the score of the Caribou game?
I don't have that written down here. I can't recall. I was not at it because it was in Caribou on the road. It was
you didn't go to Caribou game to watch a 3-6 game? They didn't put you up in a hotel for that?
Yeah, that's a long drive.
I mean, we really got to work on our budgeting here, because if we can't get you...
I'm trying to think of the furthest I had.
The drive to Caribou to cover a quarterfinal soccer game, then what are we doing?
Yeah, I guess the farthest I've gone is probably in the Bangor area. as far as traveling away.
Traveling.
Yeah.
You didn't go to Machias for the Little League World
I
Series?
did that.
For Little
I
League?
thought we were talking high school. Yes.
yeah.
I've been to Machias.
Jeez, that's a hike.
Oh yeah, that was a long drive.
Some of these prelims are ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's just not fair.
I have a theory. What they should do is if it's over, because it'll be sometimes the 8-9 game, and they'll be like, well, we earned the home game. I'm like, did you earn the home game?
Right.
The 8-9 game? Come on. Even, you know, the heel points can shake out.
Every game matters.
Yeah, but I think if it's over 80 miles, then they should find a location in the middle.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff where like it's like OOB traveling to Caribou or some nonsense.
Jeez.
Or not Caribou, but somewhere like that.
That's
where
nuts.
it's like 3.5 hours
Yeah. Wow.
each way on like a weeknight.
Yeah, that's a long way. My lacrosse team we traveled to Holton
Yeah.
last year. That was a
That's
hike.
really far.
Yeah.
You know, Stearns is going, well, this is a gold ball game, but tomorrow Stearns is going to Lewiston
Wow.
from Millinocket.
Yeah.
Which is that's a
pretty-
hike, but that's a
few
gold
hours.
ball game.
Yeah.
You're gonna go anywhere you go to Massachusetts for a gold ball game.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
I wonder if they'll like stay the night before the game or.
games
Hard
at
to say.
like I
That's
think the
a
game's at 2:30. So that's
Doable.
That's doable.
Yeah.
Maybe stop the bus a couple times.
Yeah. Stretch
so
the
people can
legs.
get out. Yeah.
I did go on the road to Yarmouth for the LA boys soccer playoff
That's a
disaster. Unfortunately.
What was the score of that one?
That one was 7-0.
Oh my goodness.
And it was, I think, 4-0 at halftime.
Was
but
that, no, that was
it's just-
Greeley, right?
That was girls played Greeley.
Oh, the girls played Greeley
The
and
boys played Yarmouth.
it went equally bad in Greeley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The same score. Both lost 7-0. But that Yarmouth team was fantastic, and almost right from the beginning, it was over. Mm-hmm. The first 10 minutes was competitive.
If you're gonna lose 7-0, it's gonna get out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah, it did. It did get out of hand pretty quickly.
And Yarmouth is just a wagon.
They are. There was a guy, he scored a goal. He did like double backflip, like a sequence of backflips down the sideline.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
And you're like, okay.
It's not the first time he scored a goal, but he was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, well, it's a playoff
And the crowd
game.
went nuts, and yeah.
That's when you maybe know it's not going to be your day. When the guy scores and does a double backflip and you go, yeah, okay. Either we can be a lot bigger than that team and muscle them, or we can get the JVs warmed up.
And sportsmanship wise, that was either the first or second goal. If he had done that after the seventh, there would have been some problems.
Then you
on
get
the
bodied.
field. Yeah, I think so. And it was so Lincoln was 3-7-4 in the regular season, so they just kind of snuck into the playoffs. And meanwhile, Yarmouth, I think they had lost one game.
Is Yarmouth the 1 seed?
Yeah, they were the 1 seed. I think they lost to Cape Elizabeth or somebody, but Lincoln had a really young team, not many seniors, so they should do better next year than they did this year. But they held their own. Again, Class B South, really tough.
Yeah.
Compared to Madomic plays in Class B North,
Which is slightly because
easier track, but
field hockey, soccer, the South is always going to be harder in those sports.
generally with
Football
the
too,
travel
usually.
soccer and things, opportunities down in the Portland area with and Seacoast soccer, youth soccer. So they were happy to make it into the playoffs. I think they knew playing Yarmouth that they were in trouble.
Yeah.
But they hung in there despite the lopsided first half.
That's when
they kept playing.
That's a situation where you're like, okay, so we got to go play at Yarmouth. What else is in Yarmouth?
Yeah.
Where can we go to eat after the game?
Yeah.
Is there any stores we need to hit up that let's make something out of this trip and, get some value out of it.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's what I'd be doing if I was a parent.
It was a tough game.
I'd be like, what errands do I need to run in the Yarmouth area here?
Yeah. And maybe the Lincoln girls were thinking that too after the Greeley game. So Well, actually, let's cover Wiscasset boys.
Okay.
They did make the playoffs in 8-man South. They were the 8 seed. They snuck in, and then they were 5-8-1. I don't know if I said that, but then they lost to number 1 seed Telstar 8-0. That was up in Bethel.
Oh,
So I did not see that. We almost went to that though.
that's not that far.
Yeah, I think I was over I think it was after the Yarmouth game. We're like, Yarmouth to
What is that? 45
before
minutes?
it. It would have been before that.
It's like 45 minutes.
It's a little more than that, but not too bad. Maybe an hour.
That's maybe too far to be able to guarantee you get some photos from it. So I was talking to Mark Haskell Saturday because he showed up. I was at the Camden MDI football game, and he was there literally 10 minutes because he's like, I got this, which is a playoff game, and I have 2 state championship games today that I have to cover all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So he's just hoping for pictures. He's like, come on, run right at me.
Yeah, run into that as well.
Run the ball right at me. Let me get a picture, and I'm out. And I'm like, I'll text you the score. He's like, thanks.
Yeah, I definitely had a couple of those. I had to get from the Booth Bay field hockey game quickly to another event. And I was like, please.
The Channel 8 guys do this every day.
Yeah.
They're just bouncing around the city. He's like you see Joe Bailey, who's one of their photographers or cinematographers, I guess you would say, or videographers. And he's at a game and you're like, oh, hey, Joe's here. I'll go say hi to him. And then he's gone.
Yeah.
Like he got a 3-pointer or something. He got a block shot, some good highlight. And he's like, I'm out because I got to hit like 4 more games.
Yeah. Playoff season gets pretty crazy for sure. So yeah, Wiscasset boys, they had a really young team. Most of them are back, but 8-man soccer, it's pretty fun. It's pretty high scoring.
I would imagine, yeah.
Hence the 8-0. But
do they have a girls team?
they do.
Okay.
We can segue to that since we are switching.
Well, we did start with boys.
Yeah.
Okay. We hit all the boys teams.
Yeah, there's Booth Bay does not have soccer, but they can play on the Wiscasset team.
Okay.
They co-op. Madomic girls. Oh man. Yeah, they undefeated in the regular season, 12-0-2. I picked them to go to the gold ball game, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they got absolutely stung in the first round.
So what happened there?
By number 8 seed Old Town. Star scorer Scarlett Flint was overcoming an injury that she had, I think, a week or two leading up to that. So she wasn't 100%. And I always thought that they were a little vulnerable in that area because she does score the majority of their goals and did score the majority of their goals during the regular season. And that was a game, I think Paula actually covered that, so I didn't see it firsthand, but just had trouble scoring. It was a really close game with Old Town. Old Town was a better than typical 8 seed.
Okay.
I heard noted by a couple people, including the Lincoln Academy girls coach, when I told her the result. I think I was at the Lincoln game covering that. But anyway, she wasn't surprised. She said that Old Town is good. Soccer's a funny
Soccer's the most
sport.
I would think of all the sports when you get into a single playoff game, the weirdest thing can happen, maybe other than baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball and soccer are probably the two. Not softball because you have the same pitcher going every time.
And you can get those shootout things at the end.
Right.
Because you can't tie. In regular season, they have ties.
But, you get a couple balls hit the crossbar, a couple bad bounces, you get a fluke goal from the other team, and all of a sudden you're down 1-0.
And I do know that Old Town scored kind of late in the game. I don't know how late exactly, but yeah, so that was a huge upset, big disappointment for Madomic. Some of those players had won a softball championship in the spring, so they were probably a little surprised to go out in the first round.
They're like, what's this?
8 to the 8 seed as a number 1.
It's never fun to be the 1 seed that loses to the 8.
Yeah.
We've had that happen to local teams a couple times, and it's always like it's obviously a bummer.
Yeah.
But it's really a bummer to lose to the 8 seed if you're undefeated.
And you're predicted really to at least win the North.
Yeah, or they were, I think my system had them as kind of co-favorites with BAPS for the North.
Yeah.
But still, you think you're going to be in the regional final at least.
Yeah. So that was a shocker. So they went out in that fashion, a close loss, 1-0.
But a great regular season.
Great regular season. But Lincoln got blown out in their playoff game.
On the really
again, not surprisingly, I didn't write down what seed they were. I want to say they were like a 6 against a 3.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Maybe a 7 against a 2. But they were 6-5-3 in the regular season, but they won their last 4.
Oh.
Yeah, to close out.
Something to build for.
Yeah, they were definitely on a roll. And boy, that Greeley team was really good, really fast. That one was
it's Greeley.
Yeah, that game was also over pretty early in the first half. Despite Maggie Thompson, I think it was, had 20 saves for Lincoln.
Wow.
So there was a lot of shots.
Could have been worse. Is what
she
you're
stopped
saying?
a penalty shot in the first half too. So
Wow.
it could have been worse.
And on that nice field.
A beautiful field, yeah.
They have a new facility at Greeley, if anyone doesn't know, and it's like spongy, would you say? Is that accurate?
Yeah.
It's a lot softer. You step on it, and it's almost like you're walking on pillows
Yeah.
on the floor if
Yeah.
you're trying to play floor is lava
Yeah,
or something.
definitely different than the chipped up plastic rubber fields
Yeah, and
like
the little,
Lincoln has.
the little
and
chipped up
most,
rubber
fields
doesn't
are.
come there. I was talking to their AD about it earlier in the year. And when I went to Levitt game there, Levitt Greeley football, he said it's a Finnish technology. They're the only people in New England who have it. It's very expensive, I'm assuming, because he didn't tell me how much it costs. But I think it's got to be. It can handle 40 inches of rain and drain.
Wow.
Which, I think at 35 inches, you're calling the game anyway.
Yeah, I would think. Well, the Greeley football game against Madame McVallen, and we'll get to that, but that tested that turf a little bit. No, it was slippery. People went down. There was a fumble on a kickoff.
I did hear it was slippery.
to that in particular. So
the Levitt coach told me it was a little slick.
yeah. But otherwise, yeah, beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful field. Lincoln, yeah, they suffered in that one. They do have a young team, so they'll be. I think they'll be pretty good next year. They do lose Maggie Thompson, their goalie, unfortunately. But yeah, and they kept hustling and playing right to the final buzzer. But
that's
it goes to show, like you said, some of those Southern teams are just head and shoulders above. And
they're just deeper and
yeah. So that's what came to bear. Our other girls soccer team, Wiscasset, was 4-10, playing 8-man, 8-woman soccer, and they did not make the playoffs. They just missed out on that. But they were much stronger this year. So that program is on the upswing.
And they have a new basketball coach, so it seems like it's like not eternal. That's not fair. It's a rebuilding project in a couple different sports.
It is,
there.
But I think their athletic director is back again this year, which is good. I think it's his second year, and he's definitely made a difference. Brandon Rogers. They redid their basketball court. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know
Brand
that.
new floor.
Oh.
Brand new bleachers, brand new paint.
I do remember
Looks
those
nice.
bleachers needing to be upgraded.
Yeah, I guess now you can push a button somewhere near the locker rooms, and they like all of a sudden start like coming, like they automatically.
As opposed to the
come
where you're
out.
like sticking the thing in it and you're turning it.
Yeah. So there's just you press a button now and they unfold and roll down onto the floor, and
It's AI probably.
pretty cool. So yeah, that covers soccer. Didn't have any breakthrough seasons for any of our local teams. In fact, we had kind of that one disappointment, but that's the way it goes.
All right. So then we move to football. Yeah.
Well, we got golf too.
Oh,
but,
golf,
and
sure.
cross country. So yeah, we got to
cross
get rolling
country and
here,
golf.
man.
Let's move. See, I'm thinking we got one thing left. I forgot about those sports, the individual
Well,
sports.
let's touch on golf because that's been done for a while. Obviously, with the weather, they wrap up first, and Lincoln Academy had a really good team, really super young team. It's all like freshmen, sophomores primarily, They were 10-0 in the regular
Oh.
season, undefeated. First time Coach Brackett could remember in his 11 years that they were undefeated. So
Nice.
and then they did start to slide, which can happen with a young group of players. So,
Or any group of golfers.
yeah, they got third in the KVAC, which I think was a slight disappointment, obviously, because they went undefeated. And then at States, they kind of fell apart a little bit there, too. They got 9th place in Class B. So it didn't end that great. But again, these are really young players, sophomores, freshmen in their top 6.
And hey, golf
Everybody's back.
Golf is a sport where everybody has a bad day.
Yeah. And the weather was ridiculous that day. Madomic, another kind of a bright spot. They went 6-4 and they got 4th in the KVAC shootout. And that meant that all 6 of their starters got to play at States. That didn't go so well. They got 14th out of 14th teams, but it was a bounce back season, and a lot of basketball players out there swinging a club.
Hashtag basketball.
Right. And they had Joseph Wilcox had a really good season. He's their top golfer. He'll be back next year. I believe he was a junior. He tied for 11th at States.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was impressive. But otherwise, yeah, golf kind of fizzled out there at the end. But yeah, I expect Lincoln's going to be really good next year. You could see the kids that were sophomores I saw play as freshmen. They had kind of just started playing, and the difference was huge between last year and this year. Like, I can only imagine. The kids are super into it. I guess they play all summer now, a bunch of them. That's what it takes, kind of like a bunch of buddies to go and play.
Yeah, it's less of a thing where you're just going to shoot baskets in your garage, outside your garage, or something. Because you need like a foursome, right? Or well, I guess you could pitch.
Yeah,
you do pitching in your yard.
Well, and a couple of them work at Waywanock Golf Course too.
Oh, there you go. There's the hack.
So they're getting some extra shots off the practice
Full
tees
Caddyshack action there.
Yeah, right. So they'll be good, and Madomic will be good with Wilcox back next year. So that's it for golf, really.
All right, so cross country.
Cross country, Lincoln Academy had Karen Higgins, who had transferred from Booth Bay. She's the KVAC Runner of the Year.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Well deserved, actually. She got second at regionals, and then she got second in Class B at States.
Nice.
Yeah, so she continued her success that she had at Booth Bay, running in Class C, and did this, did it one better in Class B. So,
is she a senior, junior?
She's a junior.
Okay,
so she's back next year. I'm sure looking at colleges and getting recruited, or she should be. She's a really good athlete, really good competitor. Works hard, trains hard, very coachable. And a very nice young lady as well. And she was joined by, they had a freshman, Annabelle Garvin Soto. And she was really good. She got 4th in the KVACs. So the future is bright
as
too.
a freshman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So she had a good year. And well, Karen Higgins, she went to New England's. I forgot to mention. So she qualified based on her result in the state
Is it
meet.
time or is it top number?
It's top number.
Okay.
I think automatically you get that bid. I'll touch on that in a second because Owen Card from Lincoln also went, and Ava Collmore from Madomic.
Yeah.
So we'll mention them here in a second. But Lincoln Academy Coaches of the Year for the boys team were Garrett Martin and Monique Booten. They are co-coaches, but they won Coach of the Year.
So you have to split it.
I guess.
Yeah.
They cut the award in half. And the boys team did really well. Like they had one of their best seasons, actually. A lot of seniors on that team, including Owen Card. He was second in the KVACs, and then he was fifth at states.
Nice.
And he went to New England also. At New England's, I don't think any of them came in the top 80.
Yeah, New England's could be rough.
Out of 250 runners for the boys and girls each. Wow. Yeah, but I guess it's just crazy how
I imagine
10 seconds will mean like 20 spots, you know.
I ran regionals, this is like forever ago, in TAC, they used to call it. It was like the Athletic Congress or something. And I don't even know if that's what it was actually called. But I went to regionals one year and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The number of runners. And like
it was a lot of good runners.
Yeah, it was raining and cold and muddy. And there was a hill. And people were just sliding down. It was like watching, you know, like the Penguins documentaries when they're trying to go down a hill and they just get on their belly and just go in mass. It was like that, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was just so like you're just jockeying for position all the time.
Yeah, so I think it sounded like that's kind of what happened to them at New England's. But yeah, the boys team, other runners that did well: Thomas McHale, Harrison White, Alba Gandler. Yeah, good season for Lincoln. They won the KVAC.
Oh, cool.
For boys team-wise. Madomic had a very small team, but they did well with what they had. Ava Collmore was second at KVACs and ninth in the state, Class B. And her sister, Kaylee, had a good season. I don't have her exact results here, but I believe in state she didn't finish, and I didn't hear what happened there. Oh. But yeah, so I still need to find out. On the boys' side, Colby Daigle had a nice season. He was third in the KVAC and 12th in states.
And he's pretty young still, right?
Yeah, he's a junior.
Junior, okay.
Yeah.
Why did I think he was a sophomore?
And then there was another guy who will be back next year, Grady Emerson. He got ninth in the KVAC.
Nice.
So with the small group that they have, and they never had enough to record a team score.
Right.
So hopefully that will help them keep building that program back up. And Booth Bay, they had a pretty good season considering they lost Karen Higgins.
Right.
But Maddie Andreasen had a nice season. She was 7th in the MVAC and 17th in the Class C states. And they had a freshman runner, Audrey Robinson, was also had a nice year for them. Qualified for states. And on the boys' side, AJ Crocker was 4th in the MVC and 11th in the state, Class C. Yeah. I think you have to make the top 10 to go to regionals, too. So he was close. Oh. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the top 10 in the state.
Well, if there's 200. Oh, and then there's wild card by time. Because if you got 250, you would need 25 states then.
Well, there's bigger states might get more people, too. So maybe there's 5 states. Massachusetts is not included in the New England regional. They must have their own region.
Huh. So what are the regions? Is it just Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont?
And Rhode Island and Connecticut. So 5, everything but Massachusetts.
Okay.
But I think Massachusetts must count as their own region, like when you go to nationals and stuff.
All right. Like that. So it's probably top X gets it. And then if you're under a certain time, you're probably get in it. Or if you're in the top, then it's probably a thing like Boston, where you have to be in the top X overall of wild card times and get under this number.
Huh.
Probably. That's my guess.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little research on
But you get a guarantee if you win your state. If you're top 10 in your state, regardless of the time.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Or else AJ would have gone. He was 11th in Class C. But then you're right. Then there's 3 divisions in the state.
Oh, because the states aren't split up by division. It's just state.
At regionals, yeah.
At regionals, it's A, B, and C all running together.
I think so, yeah.
Because the other states would have different regions and different cutoffs.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, so it'd be top 30, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I
Okay,
believe so.
that makes sense.
So that leaves football.
Football.
Football was interesting.
You want to start with Boothbay?
Yeah. So Boothbay had a 3-4 record, which is about what we expected. Young team. They had really good turnout, so they're kind of rebuilding the program. They had a lot of numbers, a big bench, which is nice.
Until they didn't.
Yeah, right. They, by attrition, injuries kind of dwindled, including some of their top players, like Sean Gamage. He was hurt at the end, and they decided not to play Old Orchard Beach in the playoffs. They declined their opportunity.
Shocking.
Last year was something like 75-6.
Yeah.
When they played in that same
And the arcade's
playoff
not
game.
open. I don't think is the
there's
problem.
Not
the
much else to
beaches
do.
aren't nice that time of year. This time of year, I guess.
No, so they
know.
decided, I don't think we're gonna go.
Are there
Get
pier
our butts
fries?
kicked.
Is there good pizza? I don't know. Can we can't ride the rides?
And I think that's something I wouldn't say personal, but I was at that game last year in Old Orchard, playoff game, same scenario. And it was like 50-0 at halftime. And Old Orchard Beach was not taking out their starters. So I think I have a feeling that Ed Crocker was kind of a little irked by
Like
that.
we're not doing this again.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I totally get it, especially when your team roster is dwindled
And they'd already
because
played
of
them.
injuries, and it was 3 of their top players by the
And they played him earlier in the year.
Yeah,
So it's
and it
not
was a
like
blowout.
we'll see how we
yeah,
stack
maybe
up.
we'll have a chance.
Like we know how we stack up. We already did this
I
at
think
full
it was
strength.
60-6 was the regular season.
I know
game.
it was because I was at a game and someone told me the score of the game. They're like, "Oh, OOB's up 32-0 on Boothbay." I'm like, "Oh, that's not bad for Boothbay." They go,
Yeah.
"Well, it's the first quarter."
I think that was me actually.
Was it you?
It was 32 within the first 10 seconds of the second quarter. It was 32-0. So yes, that was me.
Yeah.
And that was, and so in playoffs, you're going to work and keep the kids around for another week to practice for that. And then,
Yeah.
that
Get ready
feeling that they had the year before, I'm sure.
It's more time for basketball season. Get ready.
Yes.
Get healthy for basketball season.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they do with some of these athletes. Peyton Barter had a really good season, running back and quarterback for Boothbay. Sean Gamage, who isn't known as much as a basketball player, although he could and should be. I'm not sure. I don't recall him playing last year for them, but he's a big, strong kid, good athlete. So maybe they'll talk him into it.
Maybe.
But he was really good in football this year.
They just got to get to the 3 seed so they can avoid Old Orchard Beach.
Definitely.
And have a competitive, more fun quarterfinal. The problem then is you then have to play Old Orchard. You can't play the quarterfinal
Yeah.
and then opt out of the
Yeah,
semifinal
yeah.
or whatever, the semifinal and the regional final, whatever it is. You can't,
I didn't check to see, but I assume Old Orchard Beach won the.
they're playing on Saturday.
Okay.
They're playing on Saturday, which is, as you're
So they
hearing
won
this
the
2 days
South,
ago,
but-
they won the South convincingly. Yeah.
Excuse me.
But if you're Boothbay and you want to look at this, so 2 years ago, Spruce Mountain opted out of their quarterfinal playoff game, because they're like, yeah, we're good. Some very similar situation. And they are playing in the state championship game on Saturday, which would have been last Saturday as you're listening to this. So we don't know how that's going to go yet, but they're playing Camden in the state championship game this weekend.
yeah.
So,
Cool.
that was only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you're Boothbay, that's something to point to as
they
sort of
had
a
a-
North Star.
They had a really young roster too. So
See? There you go.
I do expect that they'll be better next year. Our other local team, Madomic,
Yeah.
had kind of a so-so season.
It's a
Ups and downs. They had some interesting.
unique season.
Yeah, some games they got blown out. Other games they blew other people out. It was a quirky year.
Yeah.
They had a key injury to star running back early in the season.
So I show up at the first game of the year. Who were they playing? Old Town. And I notice that there's a kid with a big bandage on his hand. And I'm like, that looks like Jaden Ruiz, but he's not in uniform. And I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
And it turns out that was Jaden Ruiz. And he had, how many stitches was it?
Like 30, 40.
It was a lot of
50,
stitches.
Yeah,
He had injured his hand. We won't talk about how he injured his hand or anything like that because we don't know all the details. But he had injured his hand and needed a lot of stitches. And you can't really play running back with a stitched up hand.
Yeah.
Because obviously. And he's very important to what they do on both sides of the ball. And so you were like, oh, that can't be good. And it happened the night before. So they had to like throw out all their playbook and whatever and reconfigure on the fly. And they beat Old Town barely. Old Town sort of backdoor covered in that game. And then he missed, 3 games?
He missed 3 games. And there's always like a silver lining, which I think was that Seamus Pease got a lot more carries. And he was really good. At the end of the year, I think getting those extra reps in, those extra carries that he took over for Jaden really helped. So thankfully they did have some depth in that position in particular. So then but on defense, that's a different story because he is, one of their best defenders for sure.
Yeah. And so then he comes back for Levitt, which Levitt, yikes, is a wagon. And they get blown out and then they lose pretty handily against Gardner. But the thing is, I don't know if you've ever had stitches in your hand, but you can't run with stitches in your hand because the action of running is going to jostle them and like the extra blood flow and everything. So I'm assuming, and I haven't talked to anybody about this, but I've had stitches in my hand and I'm a runner and I couldn't run the whole time I had stitches in my hand. So what sort of game shape are you in if you really can't do any cardio for a couple weeks?
Yeah, I think it took him a little while to get up to speed, but then he got rolling. He set a record, up to speed. 330 yards in one game.
He had like 11 touchdowns in 2 games.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which game was the 300-yard one, but it was like every time he got the ball, he was just like gone.
Yeah,
all the way.
Was it Oceanside? It
was like 6 touchdowns. I think it was the Oceanside game. Yeah, that sounds right.
I didn't go to that one because I foresaw that happening.
Yeah,
I went to a different, more competitive game.
Yes, he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I thought that would carry over into the playoffs. And
I thought
it did to some degree because they blew out Old Town ridiculously, like 62 to 6. Is that what it was? Yeah. So
I thought they might sneak into the 6th seed, which would have gotten them a bye into the quarterfinals. And they didn't quite make it. I think they lost in a Nokomis and that doomed them.
Oh, right.
And the Freeport loss also doomed them, which really looked like a game they should have won in retrospect.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. And then they ended up getting Greeley in the 1-8 game.
Yes.
And as you saw, and I had already informed you because I had seen them play twice. Greeley's very, very good.
Yeah, Greeley's excellent. Excellent team. And we can talk real quick about that playoff game.
Yeah, because I wasn't there for that. I went to Kennebunk and Falmouth, which was a classic.
Okay, so Madomic 4-4 in the regular season. They beat Old Town handily in the preliminary game to get into that 8 versus 1 matchup.
Undefeated,
but they Madomic intercepted a pass on Greeley's first possession, got the ball down to the 14-yard line, and then the wheels came off. They turned the ball back over, and Greeley just amazing. Their passing and running.
Their quarterback's game really good.
So they
Piper,
the
right?
Combination, Luke Piper, big strong kid. They just were unstoppable.
But that was the path we were talking about. Like they needed to get a turnover and an early lead, and then maybe be able to run the ball. And
they did. They
got the first part.
Yeah, they had a couple first downs. They moved it down to the 14, and then just everything fell apart. And then Greeley scores, kicks off. Madomic fumbles it, loses it right there, and then Greeley goes down on the short field and scores.
You can't give them a short field if you're the 8 seed.
Yeah, so then it's 13-0, and then they stopped Madomic and made him punt. Then they drove the ball all the way down again, and it's 21-0 going into halftime. But
that couple different bounces.
Well, there was one bounce that almost kept Madomic in the game. It wasn't a bounce. It was a great run by Seamus Pease for 63 yards. Flag, called it back. So it would have been 21-7. Maybe there's a little life. There was no life after that.
Yeah.
Like that was very dejecting. And then Ruiz went down with an injury very early in the third quarter on defense.
Ooh.
And he did not play in the game again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could still see, like we were saying, the path was there. If you get that early turnover, if you can score on that play, you don't fumble the kickoff and give them a short field. I mean, that could be instead of, that could be 14, the Seamus thing. Seamus doesn't get the flag. You could see a world where it's 14-0 at halftime.
Yeah, or even closer. It could have been.
Or no, I mean 14-0 in Madomic's favor.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You could see that world, and then Greeley's playing from behind, and you've got a run game, and maybe it works out, but you can't give them a short field, and you got to cash in when you get in the red zone, stuff like that.
And the clock's going to keep ticking because Madomic's a running team. I think they passed. Simmons was 3 for 7 passing. So
yeah, I mean they can hit the deep ball to Dosty, but it's not as much of their game as it is Greeley's.
Well, since you mentioned Dosty, he took a heck of a hit in the second half. Actually, in the fourth quarter, with about 10 minutes left, Greeley driving the ball again, and boy, kid really hit him. The running back just put his head down, and Dosty trying to make the tackle, like, hey, I'm going to wrap you up. But the Greeley kid won that battle. Dosty's helmet popped off. The kid landed on Dosty with no helmet on. Thankfully, he's okay, and they did cart him off and put him in an ambulance. And
yeah, that's always scary.
Yeah, it was raining. It was pouring. It was cold.
Yeah.
It was at least a 20-minute delay, and all the kids got together on the field and kneeled down and had their arms around each other. It was like sportsmanship wise. That's just great to see. And
meanwhile, over here, Nick DePatsy's having a heart attack.
Yeah, right. One of his basketball players for Madomic, who actually had a standout season playing football. He hadn't played since middle school, I think it was. But he was a really good receiver and defender. So after that happened, the next play, of course, Greeley scores the touchdown.
He had a really nice catch against Old Town where he just went up and just plucked the ball over the defender was going for an interception. He just reached over him, but nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take that.
That was a basketball type play. So, so he had a really good season. The good news is it sounds like he's going to be fine heading into basketball season, but it was pretty scary. And from that point on, the game was pretty much over. I thought it was over.
You thought they just call it?
Knelt. Yeah, I thought they were, because it was pouring. It was 40 degrees and raining.
It was pretty cold that night.
The whole game, pretty much. So I thought that was it. But no, they kept playing, and Madomic did punch in a touchdown, put together a drive, and
there you
go. That's a good way to end the season.
Yeah,
it was a 36-8 final, but Greeley pretty much in control after. Early in the second quarter.
There are worse ways to lose a playoff game.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, you don't want anyone to get hurt, but to say 2 of our best players got hurt, we had some bad bounces, and then you can spend the offseason talking yourself into it.
Yeah. Well, one of the players that you just mentioned, there was a kickoff, and of course the field is drenched. Like I said, it's this new turf.
But it can drain.
It didn't drain that. It couldn't drain that well. So it was slippery, and just that kickoff, he got a hand on it. It took a weird bounce over his head, and then he's just running towards his own end zone to go get the ball. And of course, turns around and there's 5 Greeley guys on him. So on that kickoff, they started their drive, I think, at the 8-yard line.
Yeah.
So, but it was 7-0 after the first quarter. And Greeley didn't score, I think, until, a minute or 2 was left in that first quarter. So it was still, close into the second quarter, but
they might win the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Greeley or Levitt who wins the whole thing.
Yeah, just their ability to throw the ball and run the ball, just having that kind of offense,
Yeah.
a great quarterback that can run the ball. Also, he scrambled for a couple big plays.
Their receiver, Ben Kiles, is really good.
Yeah.
He had one of the best catches I've seen all year.
Yeah.
And it was a big catch for the game where he got just clobbered on a pass interference, like the easiest pass interference call you'll see in your life.
Yeah.
And he came up with the ball.
Wow.
And he just got absolutely obliterated. And then he just pops up with the ball, spikes it, he's in the end zone, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
wow. And I'm like replaying it on my phone because I'm trying to get video. I'm like, holy cow, he actually caught that.
Yeah. In this game, there were two brothers, the Justice brothers, Sean and Jackson Justice, that were catching balls and scoring touchdowns. One was a running back and one was a receiver, I believe. But yeah, Greeley looked good. So overall, I think it was a okay season for Madomic football.
Yeah.
I think they lost. They're going to lose some more key players this year, and the Pease
Dostie.
brothers, Dostie, the quarterback, Wyatt Simmons. So we'll see what happens next year. Doesn't look like it's going to be a banner year, but we'll see.
We'll
Maybe
see
they got some young kids on the middle school team.
There's a lot of kids in that program.
Yeah, there are. So
See what Snell's got in store.
yeah, but they had, it was a fun season. They're up and down. Like we said, they've won some big ones and they lost some big ones that you kind of scratch your head. So it was kind of inconsistent.
And that's such a young program.
Yeah, it's only been 10 years.
I think 10 years. They've done a really
roughly.
good job of building that program out of absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And
So-
the middle school program's good. I know they lost the championship for middle school to Bangor.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So-
there'll be some
Talent on the
some
way.
new talent coming in. But yeah, nobody, I guess in summary
No gold
of
balls.
not
no
even
regional
close.
titles. No one even got to a regional final.
No, I don't even
Jeez.
think. I guess Booth Bay Field Hockey, that was a regional semifinal.
Okay.
That was our best finisher.
Wow.
And if someone had said, "Hey, who do you think is going to be?"
Yeah.
The top finisher, nobody probably would have said Booth Bay Field Hockey. So kudos to them and their
Yeah.
coaches. Two of them are former Division I players in field hockey. So
Considering the
they got something
success,
going there. They would be my highlight, I guess.
considering like in last year, fall, spring, and winter, most of the teams, well, there were a lot of teams that were in a regional final, won a gold ball. It was like semifinal was the base floor.
Yeah.
So this is the anomaly. So what we're doing is we're getting all of that out of the way. And then winter, we're going to get everybody's dancing. Everybody's we're going to have some regional finals. We'll go nuts.
Yeah, I'm excited to do a little preview with you in a couple weeks. Probably
Yeah.
is about right. We'll
Something
gotta get some preseason looks at these teams and and get together and make some predictions.
All right, we'll do it up.
Hopefully better than our fall
Can't
turned
be.
out.
I would hope so.
Yeah, me too.
All right, see you later, Mick.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for listening to Beyond the Broadsheet, a podcast by the Lincoln County News. This podcast is produced by Lucas McNelly and Maya Zewert. Tyler Davis of Tyality Productions provides production support. Our theme music is by Stu Mahan and Lincoln County News Associate Editor / bassist Sherwood Olin. The Lincoln County News hits newsstands across the county every Wednesday afternoon, and you can also access our work online at lcnme.com. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion, please email us at info@lcnme.com. As always, we're grateful for the support of our readers and listeners in Lincoln County and beyond. It's been great catching up today, and we'll talk with you again soon.